Good day, students. I'll be your biology teacher for today, and the topic for today's lesson is population studies. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to define population, restate what constitutes population characteristics, discuss which method is more practical for finding out the population size of grasses on the school field, calculate population density, outline 10 simple ecological instruments and the ecological factors they are used for with their functions. Population studies. Population can be defined as individuals of the same species living in the same habitat at the same time. Example: from the above diagram of a pond, there is a population of tadpoles, a population of top minnows, a population of duckweeds, and a fourth population of tiger fish. When ecologists carry out population studies in a habitat, the following are investigated. 1. Types of organisms. This involves the listing of the various types of populations that are found in the habitat in order to work out the relationships that can possibly exist between the various populations. 2. Dominance. In any community, one or a few species are dominant over the others in numbers, in largest portion of space occupied, in possession of highest biomass, and in contribution of the largest energy flow. These dominant species often exert a great influence on the habitat and the other populations. Population characteristics. This includes population size, population frequency, population density, population distribution, percentage cover, and population growth rate. Population size. It is the total number of individuals in a population of same species in a given area or habitat. Population density. It is the number of individuals per unit area. Mathematically, population density equals population size all over area of habitat. It can be used to estimate the total number of individuals of a population size, the following way. Density times area of habitat equals population size. For example, if a pond has surface area of 100 meters square and a duckweed population of 2,000 plants, the density of its duckweeds will be our formula: population size all over area of habitat, which equals 2,000 all over 100 meters squared. Answer equals 20 duckweeds per meter squared. Population distribution. This refers to the way in which individuals of a particular population are arranged in a given habitat. It is the variation in density over a given habitat. Example: if the western half of the pond in our example above contains a quarter of the duckweeds, the density of duckweeds in the western half will be a quarter of 2,000 all over half of 100, which gives us 500 all over 50. Answer equals 10 duckweeds per meter squared. Students, find out the density of duckweeds in the eastern half if the eastern half contains 3/4 of duckweeds. Population frequency. This is simply how often the species occur at different sites in its habitat. Percentage cover. This refers to the area or space covered or occupied by a given species in its habitat, and it is expressed in percentage. We'll be back after the short break. You're welcome back, students. We'll continue from where we stopped. Population growth rate. This refers to the net result of the influence of natality, birth rate, and mortality, death rate of organisms in a given area. Factors affecting population: natality, birth rate, mortality, death rate, migration, which could be immigration or emigration, invasion or colonization by new species, availability of food, breeding periods, seasonal climatic changes, natural disasters. Method of population study. Sampling method. Population study by sampling method is a method of determining the size of a population by counting a limited number of individuals only. Example: if you have to find out the number of maize grain in a large sack, it will be very laborious to try and count every one of them. You might, however, count how many grains it takes to fill a cup and then find out how many cupfuls are in the sack. The result will be an approximation, not the exact number. This is sampling. To conduct population studies, we carry out the following procedures. Choose the habitat to be studied. Select the sampling method to be used. Collect, count, and record the different types of organisms present. Identify the different organisms. Repeat the population studies at intervals. Sampling techniques used in population studies. 1. Quadrat method. A quadrat is made of a square or rectangular wire, plastic, wooden or metal frame with predetermined area. It can be used to estimate the number of a plant species or small, slow-moving animals. The quadrat is thrown at random several times, and on each landing, the area covered by it is observed. The type of species and their numbers within the quadrat are recorded. From the records taken, the population characteristics can be determined. Example: using a quadrat of 1 meter squared, the following records were obtained. From the above table, the frequency of Tridac's species can be determined, and it is the total number of times it appeared in the number of plots covered by the quadrat. Therefore, frequency of Tridac's equals 25. The frequency percentage of Tridac's can also be determined. This is done by dividing the number of plots in which Tridax occurs by the total number of tosses of the quadrat and multiplying by 100. That is 25 all over 50 times 100, which gives us half times 100. Answer equals 50%. For density of Tridax, it can be determined by dividing the average number of times the species occurs within the quadrat, frequency per quadrat, by the area of the quadrat. That is, from our table, total number of Tridax equals 28. Number of tosses equals 50. Average number of Tridax per quadrat equals 28 divided by 50, which equals 0.56. Area of quadrant equals 1 meter squared. Therefore, density of tridacts equals 0.56 all over 1 meter squared. Answer equals 0.56 tridacts per meter squared. We'll be back after the short break. You're welcome back, students. We'll continue from where we stopped. Other sampling techniques include 2. Transect method. 3. Capture, mark, recapture method. Ecological factors. There are factors in the environment which can influence living organisms or cause changes in any habitat, be it aquatic or terrestrial habitat. Ecological factors are grouped into 2: biotic factors, abiotic factors. Biotic factors are made up of the effects of other plants and animals on a given organism, and they are parasitism, competition, predation, pathogen, mortality, migration, dispersal, natality, food, diseases, pests. Abiotic factors are climatic factors, chemical factors, edaphic factors, topographic factors. Ecological factors that affect aquatic habitats are temperature, rainfall, wind, light, pressure, hydrogen ion concentration, salinity, turbidity or transparency, dissolved gases, density, current, waves. Ecological factors that affect terrestrial habitats are temperature, rainfall, wind, light, pressure, hydrogen ion concentration. Measurement of ecological factors. Instrument, functions, uses. Rain gauge measures the amount of rainfall. Minimum and maximum thermometer measures the lowest and highest temperature of the day. Anemometer measures the speed of wind. Wind vane indicates the direction of wind. Hygrometer measures relative humidity. Barometer measures pressure. Photometer or light meter measures light intensity on land. Hydrophotometer measures light intensity in water. Colorimeter or pH indicator measures acidity or alkalinity of soil or solution. The following diagrams are examples of ecological instruments. In summary, we learned the definition of population, population characteristics, factors affecting population, population study methods, ecological factors, instruments for measuring ecological factors. Students, answer the following questions. 1. When carrying out population studies, what are usually investigated? 2. Calculate the density of 3/4 duckweeds in the eastern half of a pond. whose total surface area equals 100 meters squared and total duckweed population equals 2,000. 3. In a tabular form, write out 6 ecological instruments and their functions or uses. For further studies, visit the following websites: www.passnownow.com, www.britannica.com, www.supportgoogle.com. Bye bye, students.